Hello, my people. This is Enudi Podcast again, titled Never Too Late. That's today's title. I titled Never Too Late because, like I often say to people, have you ever asked yourself what happens when you have a wonderful idea that you wanted to implement and all of a sudden you're giving it up for some reason or the other? I often hear people say, I am too old. And other people say, at the other spectrum, I am young. But remember, before you became old, you were once young. And to the young, you will someday become old. But let me tell you that it doesn't matter which side of the spectrum you belong. And I will give you a great scenario or example. You recollect a popular food chain in America that have spread all over the world like a wildfire, which had or produces fried chicken and associated food. The owner of that wonderful, huge food chain started his business at the age of 60. What did he do? He sold his only American dream home to start a business. And what happens today is our history because he can buy that same house he sold to start a business 1 million and a million and a million again. That is someone listening to his inner voice and not the people who say to him he is too old to start a business. Look at some of today's millionaires and billionaires. In the past, when you hear that someone is a millionaire or a billionaire, what will that tell you? We will expect to see a very old person. But the tide has changed today. Anyone young or old can be a millionaire or a billionaire. Most of the world's richest people today are in their prime, very young persons. And what did I say? No time for procrastination. Just do what you want to do, old or young, because it's not how far, but how well. Have you noticed something in older people of these days? Older people are appearing more beautiful these days than they used to be. Same goes to the young. Young ones are looking more younger than they used to be. A 28-year-old person may be looking like 15 or 16 today. These trajectories might be as a result of the times we are. Good food, great medical care, better environment, people taking more care of themselves than they used to, and so on. For those who know the history of a former president of the United States, a man who failed many times in business, in marriage, in politics, and later became one of the greatest president America ever heard. So what did that tell you? Power of perseverance, resistance. Resist the external forces. Stay away from people who tries to downgrade you or make you feel inferior. I used to speak for the voiceless in Africa as an activist. I'm always on television, radio, print, newspaper, media, asking the government to do better and criticizing the ills in the society honestly and also doing it innocently. Some people will criticize me for doing what I do. But alas, I was surprised that people notice what I'm doing, especially when myself and the president of my association then was called by the American embassy and asked what we want America to do for us. That is doing what you're doing, knowing that someday someone somewhere will recognize what you're doing and support you. And that's because at the time we faced a lot of threats and resistance, both from government and the actors. It also came to my realization that people are taking notice of our actions to make positive change in society. I want you to remember this. No one can make you inferior without your consent. So think my brother, think my sister, and as they say, is teaching time often saves 9. Thanks for listening. My next broadcast will be in 2 days. Thanks again. God bless you.